All this extreme festival action is proudly brought to you by Comcare Medical Scheme, Dunlop Tires, Ferodo, the #1 in brakes, and Investchem. Welcome to Red Star Raceway. Absolutely ideal conditions to go racing with. We thought it was going to be cold. Turned out to be an absolutely perfect day for racing. And it's round 4 of the Extreme Festival making its way out here to the Mpumalanga circuit. Looking forward to some big action on track and great to see the crowds out here in full force. First up, Investchem, Formula 1600s. Expect another epic battle between the Gelderhuys boys, Vos and Leroux. They have been the talk of the town when it comes to Investchem Formula 1600s. And here at this circuit, it is exceptionally difficult to pass. So qualifying is going to be vital. And then we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen out on circuit. Will there be a bit of bumping? Will there be a bit of barging? Probably, as we get into the thick of it for race number 1. Vos is coming back from a victory, so is Gelderhuys. So the two of them are pretty fired up. But Josh Leroux definitely wants to get himself back up into the front end of this championship. It's Gelderhuys and Vos on the front row, so they're going to be a difficult pair to catch. And see what's going to happen down into turn 1. Will it be Vos or will it be Gelderhuys? Andrew Rackstraw at the front end of the Kent category, making a welcome return to single-seaters as he steps in for Ian Schofield. We're on board with Vos as we head down towards turn 1. It's a good start there from Van Wheelie. You can see already pressure coming from Nicholas Van Wheelie on the inside there, but around the outside of turn 1, that's a difficult maneuver to make on cold tyres. Not quite sure if he's going to make that stick, but Vos is side by side with Gelderhuys as we stay on board with him heading towards turn 2. Putting a bit of driving here from Gelderhuys. He hangs on to the inside line just to force Vos wide, which will just bring him back into it. But hello, there comes Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie having a look on the inside as they get up there. Oh, a touch there. Antoine Gelderhuys. Little tag on the back end there. Gerard was leading things out. Antoine got onto the back of Van Wheelie, and Van Wheelie spun out in turn 3. Let's have a look at that from an instant replay. On board here with Nicholas Van Wheelie. There you can see it just gets the tag from behind. Got nowhere to go. Has to wait for the entire field to come through, including the Kent cars, before he can get back on track. This is Antoine's point of view. He was trying to go around the outside of Vos, and he didn't see Van Wheelie on his outside, I don't think. That's why the two of them tagged front right and back left. Back to the action at the front end, though. Here comes Josh Leroux, having to start from the back of the field. Didn't quite get the qualifying he wanted. Now under braking up the inside and turning in on Sia Monkonkwana, making a maneuver up there and getting himself up just outside of the top 5. Monkonkwana having to go with him now. Not a bad effort there from Siyabonga Monkonkwana. Just stay with Josh Leroux. You'll learn a lot behind that youngster. There's certainly some great prowess behind a single-seater there. You can see also the return there of Antoine after his off-track excursion. Just ran a little bit wide after that tag between himself and Van Wheelie. But as they get down into the dog bone section, he's already back up into the top 10 and looking to try and make his way back to the front end of the field. In the background as well, we see them just chopping and changing. Look out for Taya van der Laan as she leads out. Currently the leaders, Julian van der Walt of the Kent category. Hepburn in second, and it's Rackstraw in third. Rackstraw diving on the inside of Hepburn as they get up onto the turn 11. Great move there. That's the turn that brings them onto the long back straightaway. And now it's Slipstream City. Watch Hepburn go straight into the slipstream there of Rackstraw as they head down that long straight. Into the brakes and into the chicane. Ooh, late braking, very late braking coming out of Evan Holtzhausen. He had a big look on the inside there of Anton Gelderhuys. Gelderhuys saw him coming, realized he probably wasn't going to make that maneuver stick, and he just gave him a little bit of room to get out of harm's way. It worked out perfectly. In amongst the mid pack now, here comes Leroux on the charge, trying to find a way through on Srinadu. Can he get him on the brakes? Yes, he can. Late on the brakes, up into turn 2. Brilliantly done. And now he looks to close things down, as you can see on the back end of Kutsia. Jason Kutsia is the next man in his sights, and it's going to be a tough man to catch. See, it's a much better run here as well, coming out of Andrew Schofield. Fly Sapphire car just up ahead there. Oh, and as I say that, commentator's curse. He's on the sideline. Something's gone wrong there with the Flower Sapphire car, and Schofield parks it on the sideline. That's not what he wanted. I was talking about the gap closing down rapidly, and look at how Josh Leroux is closed there and gets up the inside into the dog bone on Kutsia. Kutsia's got an issue. There's definitely a problem on that car. He opened up the door too easily there for Josh Leroux and just said, yeah, you go through. I'm going to try and follow you. Maybe you can bring me up to the front, guys. But Leroux going through there, absolutely no harm and no worries whatsoever. Here comes a battle of note. I was kind of expecting to see this. The two Investchem cars getting together. Julian van der Walt and Rackstraw doing some duties for their normal competitors there. Let's have a quick look at that on the replay, though. Siyabonga Monkonkwana. Oh, problems there for him. Tagging on the back end, and Monkonkwana coming together by the looks of things with Storm Lanfear. So those two cars coming together, that wasn't exactly what he planned. And there's a little bit of damage there as well. Oh, and there's some more. This is what it's all about. Anton Gelderhuys has gone out and he's hit almost every single car out there. He's had a tough day in the saddle as Antoine, tagging the back end of Sia Monkonkwana. It looks like he's done some more damage to the front end of that car. He already had some damage from earlier on. We're on board with Shrin as they go down into turn 6. Onto the back end now of those two battling hard. And Anton Gelderhuys has not found a way through there on Siyabonga. But Srinadu is right up close and personal there onto the back end. And looking in his rearview mirror, he'll have to be very, very wary because Evan Holtzhausen has joined the party. So we've got about a 5 or 6 way battle here for the latter part of the top 10. Taya van der Laan currently sitting just inside that top 10, and a super run there from the young lady as she starts to close things down. Storm Lanfear is there as well, and running wide is Anton Geldenhuys. You can see battling now with the lack of wings, or the broken wings on those cars. And if you've got anything that's broken on these machines, it does definitely affect your ability to get those cars turned in and get them going on a straight line fast. So he's definitely going to feel the effects of those 2 tags that he's had in this race. Oh, on the sideline, Rackstraw. Rackstraw, I think, has come together. I was about to say we've got up close and personal with those two, but Andrew Rackstraw, I think possibly going to see it here from the replay's point of view. He puts wheels on the dirt. Oh, he's driving down the dirty side of the track. What are you thinking there, Andrew Rackstraw? Got onto the grass and he got it completely looped out. I think he was being pressurized a little bit there by Julian van der Walt. We're on to the final lap now. Van der Walt leads things out comfortably now over Graham Hepburn and Lieutenant Colonel Alan Meyer in third place. We're back on board here with Voss, trying to close down on Geldenhuys here on the last lap. Can he find a way through? Alex Voss would love to take a victory away here from Gerard Geldenhuys, but Geldenhuys wants another victory to keep himself at the front of this battle of the championships. And this battle for the championship is certainly heating up. We've got 4 cars who have all shared honours this year, and we're only into round number 4, so can you imagine how it's going to go right down to the wire? Right now it is going down to the wire between these two for the win of race 1. Geldenhuys hangs on for now, but it's Voss all over the back of him, looking for a way past. He's pulled a small margin though, coming out of that little kink towards turn 11. As they get onto the back straight away, he's going to try and use that advantage now to keep him out. Voss slides. Oh, there you go. That's just enough there. You would have seen that probably in his rearview mirrors, and Voss shakes his head. He knows he's made a mistake. He knows how crucial that mistake was as well. Just sliding out of that penultimate corner. They come to the chicane now. He's not going to be close enough to do anything about Gerard Geldenhuys. And Geldenhuys, if he gets it right through here, will just be plain sailing to the checkered flag. Hasn't been an easy race for him. He's had to fight for it, but he's going to take the victory here nonetheless. Coming to the checkered flag ahead of Alex Voss. Josh LaRue is going to hang on for third place. Just getting ahead there of Jason Coetzee, as we saw earlier on. He makes his way back up into the top 3. Monkonkwana was still in a bit of a fight there for the top 5. He's going to finish in the top 5 just behind Coetzee, and he keeps out both Evan Holtzhausen and Shren Naidu just behind him there. So great effort there from all of our Formula 1600 competitors. Julian van der Walt takes the Formula Ford Kent category ahead of Hepburn and Meyer, but there's confirmation of the top, and it's Geldenhuys from Voss, LaRue, Coetzee, Monkonkwana, Evan Holtzhausen and Shren Naidu. Nice turnaround from Josh LaRue coming from the back of the field up to third place. Let's catch up with him and find out how it went.
Race 1 went really well. I'm starting from dead last. Worked my way up to third from 13. Was a very, very tight race. Lots of overtaking to do. A few close calls, almost touching wheels and losing the front wing. But at the end, I got to bring it home in third, and I'm very, very happy with my result. Hopefully I can do the same thing in the last race.
And second place goes to Alex Voss.
Me and Gerard managed to build a bit of a gap on the field, and some really tight, close racing. I didn't manage to get past, but the pace was really quick from both of us, and I'm happy to bring the car home in second place, all in one piece. And now second race to go, we'll see how we can go for that.
High flying at the front and taking the victory was Gerard Geldenhuys.
We had a good dice with Voss and Van Wheelie through the first few corners, and then after that I was just able to pull away a bit, and then he would catch up. But yeah, very, very happy with first place, and I just want to thank my sponsors, Abacus Divisions Racing, and our mechanics, and all of the people that came out to see.
Welcome back to Extreme Festival National Championship action and race number 2 now of the Investchem Formula 1600s. As you can see, you're doing a fantastic battle in the first one, and more of the same expected now in the second one. I'm hoping to see Andrew Rackstraw back on circuit after that little tag between himself and Van der Walt down the main straightaway for the Formula Ford Kent side of this category. See Alan Meyer working frantically to get everything sorted out. He wants to go and take on his closest rival in that side of the championship, and that's Graham Hepburn. We're under starters orders. The lights go out. We go racing. It's a good start here coming from Nicholas Van Wheelie. He wants to stay out of trouble this time. See what he can do about getting to the front end, as he tried to do in race number 1 and was unceremoniously taken out at turn 2. He gets up the inside, and it looks like into third place coming out of turn 1. Tucked in behind yet again Alex Voss. Yes, Voss just ahead of him. Right on his tail is Antoine Geldenhuys, and look out for the return of Andrew Schofield as well. He's got the Fly Sapphire car back on track. That's good to see. They're a lot cleaner through turn 2 this time, not as closely bunched. Sio Monkonkwana going side by side there with Jason Coetzee. And look out on the inside, here comes Josh LaRue. LaRue got a fantastic start off the line. He's already up into 6th place behind Monkonkwana. He gets up ahead there of Jason Coetzee as they go into turn 4. Triple left-hander now. This is where Jason Coetzee will try and stay on the back end here of Josh LaRue and hopefully use the man out front to try and close things down. He wasn't able to do that in the first one. Coetzee seemed to have a slight issue on that car, maybe a little bit of a misfire that he picked up in the second part of the race. A little bit of off-track excursion there for Monkankwana. Already putting wheels on the dirty stuff. You don't want to be doing that in single-seaters. That can end up in tears big time. Josh LaRue down into turn 6, closes on the brakes and closes right underneath that gearbox of Monkankwana out ahead of him. Behind that, they line up in the form of Evans Holzhausen. Look out for Teo van der Laan. Shrun Naidu back into the mix as well. It's Julian van der Walt controlling things from the front end of the Kent class. He's ahead of Hepburn. Looks like they've dropped Alan Meyer. Alan Meyer looks like he's fallen right out of the clutches there. Didn't see Andrew Rackstraw on the grid, so I don't know if Rackstraw got back onto the circuit. I don't think he did. So it was a big pity to lose him. He was going so well, and it was nice to have him back, the reigning champion in what is Formula 1600. Here we go, down that short straightaway, and then onto the long one. And Anton Geldenhuys is trying to close things down here. You can see just how hard he's pushing. He realizes that first race and those couple of incidents he had in the first race were costly for his championship. And he's now up to 4th place on track, but he's going to try and get through to the front if he wants to stay in the hunt for the championship here with his brother and with Alex Voss. Josh LaRue is doing just that. LaRue closing him down. Only 2 cars back there. He's got to get through on Schofield before he can set his attentions there on Antoine. But it's Gerard who is disappearing at the front end. He's pulled about 3 or 4 car lengths there to get away now from 2nd place Alex Voss. Van Wheelie in 3rd and Antoine Geldenhuys in 4th. Antoine late on the brakes, closing into turn 2 and having a look to try and get onto the back end of that magnificent paint and hardware car just ahead of him. And Van Wheelie is going to make it very difficult for him. He's going to have to try and keep him out and also probably look to try and return the favour and not allow him any room after he was the man who came together with him. There is the LT. Alan Meyer parked on the sideline and just out of harm's way in time by the marshals there to get that car extricated out of a dangerous position before the lead pack came through there. So that was good timing there from the marshals' point of view. Here we go onto the short straight, and let's see if there's going to be any slipstream here coming out of Antoine. Oh, Van Wheelie ran a bit wide there as well. Also put a wheel on the dirt. That's a costly exercise. You don't want to be doing that. How awesome is that shot? How would you like to have every single car in Formula 1600s in one shot down a straightaway? Well, there you've got it. Exactly that. Perfectly done by the director there to give us that shot. As we come now into the dog bone. The pressure's on. Voss is looking dangerous. Voss wants by, and Geldenhuys is just soaking up that pressure as they get to the exit of the dog bone now. It is a very, very determined Alex Voss, but the reason he's so determined is he's got huge pressure coming from behind now, as Van Wheelie is probably equally as determined to get to the front of this battle. He's in 3rd place at the moment. He's having to go defensive as well as on the attack at the same time. Not always easy to do, particularly in these single-seaters. There's not a lot of room for you to look down and look in your rearview mirrors, although fortunately at Red Star you've got this long straight where you can just settle down slightly and have a look and see where your competitors could be. And if you're far enough ahead, you'll probably get to see them on the short straight. This is where we're seeing another battle. Storm Lanfear now in the mix there with Shrun Naidu, Jason Coetzee and Sia Monkankwana. What a fantastic little battle. Teo van der Laan in there as well. So we've got a 5-way fight here for the latter half of the top 10. This is exactly what we want to be seeing in this category. Youngsters coming through from karting, stepping up into single-seaters, slowly but surely getting to grips with these cars and becoming seasoned veterans. Teo van der Laan is all over Jason Coetzee. Coetzee's in trouble. Coetzee could be under attack here into turn 1. Teo on the inside looking for a way through and just not close enough to get up the inside of Jason Coetzee, who was later on the brakes than her, but she managed to keep Shrun behind her. So the fight is on here, and this young lady is certainly loving life here in amongst the boys that she would usually be fighting with in karting. Coetzee now has lost a little bit of ground to Sia Monkankwana, so Monkankwana pulling away ever so slightly. That was due to the fact that we're having to go so defensive and fight off the intentions being shown from behind. Now Coetzee sets his sights and trying to get onto the back end of Monkankwana's tailpiece, if he can. Teo van der Laan coming along for the ride, but loses a little bit of ground between 2 and 3. We're on board now with Antoine. This is on the short straight, coming under braking down into turn 6. He's having a look on the inside, and not quite getting on the inside there, Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie just placing that car perfectly, not allowing any opportunities to open up there. But you can see Antoine is looking determined. Oh, little mistake there from Van Wheelie. Is that enough for Antoine to sneak through? It might be. I hope they're not going to touch again. They don't want to be touching wheels again, those two. Oh, no, and they got a reel there between the two of them. Coming out of the exit of the dog bone. Antoine had a big look, but Van Wheelie was having nothing of it. He slammed the door shut, said, no, you're going to have to work harder than that, bud. And he was working exceptionally hard to try and find a way through. Didn't quite get there, though. So they come out of 11 onto the back straight away. Gaps open between 1 and 2. It's now starting to close down, and there's a move from Josh LaRue, catching Antoine Geldenhuys out there. He was watching the two of them fighting so hard, and now Josh LaRue has got on the inside and he's got ahead. He's on the inside line for the next corner, which is 12 and 13 here. A little chicane that takes them onto the main straight. But I think Josh LaRue will have what it takes there to just keep Antoine Geldenhuys at bay. Gerard leads things out. His brother is doing the job at the front end, looking for a double victory as the flag comes out, and he gets it ahead of Foss. Van Wheelie hangs on, and Josh LaRue has just snuck through in time to get a top 4 finish. You can see Anton wasn't happy about that. Gesticulations there from the onboard showing him that he wasn't happy that he'd lost out there to Josh LaRue right on the final lap. And there is your results. Geldenhuys from Foss, Van Wheelie and LaRue. Geldenhuys ahead of Schofield, and Evan Holtzhausen finishes up in 7th place. Van der Walt once again takes Formula Fords ahead of Hepburn and Meyer. Let's catch up with 3rd place Nicholas Van Wheelie in the magnificent paint and hardware car.
Race 2 was better than race 1. In the first race we unfortunately got tagged on the first lap, so it put us out. And the second race we managed to get a decent start, and we held on to 3rd place throughout the race. We tried to put pressure on the front 2 guys, but just difficult to overtake on this track, so we settled for 3rd. So it's been a good day considering that we struggled a bit over the last few races this season.
Double 2nd place for Alex Foss, keeping him at the front of this championship.
Again, wasn't quite able to get by him, even though the times are very similar. I seemed to have a bit of an edge to the infield section, but down the straight he managed to stay in front of me. But all in all, happy with the result. It's solid points heading into the second half of the season, and I just want to say a big thank you to Hendrik, to Investchem, as well as Claudio from Race Drive SA. I'm just very happy with the way things are progressing, and happy with the way the weekend's gone.
Double victory coming out of Gerard Geldenhuys. He's the most happy man out there today.
Race 2 went super well, led every single lap of the race. I'm very, very happy with the double victory, pole and fastest lap. I think it was a very good weekend for our team, and I just want to again thank my sponsors and my parents and everybody that helped us achieve this. I thank you.
Double win for Gerard has definitely brought him back into the hunt of the championship, and it's 7 points to Josh LaRue in the lead. His brother's right on his tail by 1 point, and Alex Foss still in the mix there in the top 4. Join us off the break for more action here from Red Star.